City Council meeting to order. First, I'd like to invite everybody to rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Aaron, we'll go into roll call.
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Here.
Matt Dyer.
Here.
Tyler Fullingham.
Here.
Scott Murray.
Here.
Abby Wilder.
Here.
I'm Matt Dyer. I'm City Councilman. I also serve as Mayor Pro Tem, and the Mayor is on a much-deserved vacation, so I will run tonight's council meeting. First on the agenda, we do have a public hearing that was scheduled for 7. We're just a touch late, but I will look for a... First, we need to approve the minutes. I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I'll make a motion to close the council, suspend the council meeting and open a public hearing.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And then entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
All right. So we are now in a public hearing regarding ordinance number 2026-11, which addresses rate changes for city water rates.
It's -10. That's the water rate. That's the bond.
Oh my
ordinance.
gosh.
It's okay.
Let's start this again. So this is a public hearing on ordinance number 2026-10, and I know this, thank you. So this is related to our City Code of Ordinances and the tables listed within section 53.002, and it was introduced, and the first public hearing was held at the last meeting, which described potential water rate changes of 15%. And since that time, there has been a change in circumstances, which has made an adjustment in those rates to 11%. And we have Jennifer Wilson, our municipal advisor from Crow, as well as Ben Adams, the engineer with Commonwealth, who is part of the project lead team related to the SRF project, which is the core basis for the rate changes. So would either of you like to address the public or address anything within the hearing tonight to describe the changes between last meeting and now?
I can do it.
All right. Ben, would you like to come up?
So we were, again, like I said at the Board of Works meeting, we were very fortunate to receive great bids for the project. And so when we bid the last part of the project, we were able to increase the number of services we're going to replace, which again increased the amount of total dollars being spent on just specifically lead service line replacements.
And that number itself was significant, correct? I mean, it almost doubled.
Yeah, we were talking about 5 million, and then we went to a total of almost 10 million for lead service line replacements only. So we had some conversations with the SRF folks, and they were able to offer us a more favorable package of funding that we gladly accepted. And I'll just sort of try to go through it sort of as a generic way that I can do it. Jennifer could chime in with probably financial advisor take on it, but originally we were going to receive 5.5 million in grant funds. We were originally going to receive 2.5 million at 0%, and then the balance of the 22 million, which was 13 million, was going to be a lump. So we were able to increase the grant funding for lead service line replacements to a total of 5 million. We were able to increase the amount of 0% interest money to 5 million. We got to keep the other 3 million in grant funds. We reduced the size of the actual loan that has an interest rate to 9 million. So we went from 5.5 million in grant funds to 8 million in grant funds. And we were able to also increase our 0% funding from 2.5 million to 5 million. So it was a terrific, absolutely great deal. At the first public hearing, we heard from a number of folks that spoke that night that had hoped that we could try to find additional monies with which to do this project. And miraculously enough, we were able to do that. So, I mean, I'm absolutely shocked at what we got at the end of the day, but again, it was a great deal, and it's actually going to, you guys introduced rates at a 15% increase, and now you're going to be able to at least conceivably adopt rates at a lower number, so that there will be a savings to all the, you know, the ratepayers of the city of Decatur's water utilities. So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, we can.
Yep, okay, wonderful. What Ben said is accurate. Originally, our debt service that was included in, for the new debt was about $726,000. Because of this additional grant funding, your debt service is now being reduced down to $555,000. And that is what's causing our ability to reduce the rate increase from 15% down to 11%.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jennifer. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak related to ordinance number 2026-10? Okay. Seeing no one come forward and hearing no one, this would conclude the public hearing on ordinance number 2026-10.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And then,
I make a motion to open the city council meeting.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
okay. We would need a motion to make a matter of record the proof of publication for the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. And now we can introduce, or not introduce, but we can,
I can read it to pass it,
correct,
and I just can say as amended.
correct.
Okay.
I make a motion to place ordinance 2026-10 as amended on its second reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 2026-10, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, which establishes amended rates and charges for the use of and the service rendered by the Decatur water system.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2026-10 as amended on its final reading.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Roll call vote, please.
Jenny Bowers Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving forward, we have an ordinance.
We done?
Yes. Circle back. We have a resolution for the retirement of Mr. Chris Bright. Chris, you're up, front and center.
Do you want me to go ahead and introduce, and then you can read the whole thing? Or do you?
Come closer to the front.
All right.
move to introduce Resolution 2026-6 to be read in its entirety.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Resolution 2026-6, resolution of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, which recognizes Christopher Bright for his years of public service. Whereas Christopher Bright, who upon graduation from Belmont High School served in the U.S. Army, served the Adams County Sheriff's Department as both a jail officer and reserve deputy, and who was selected to join the Decatur Police Department as a full-time patrolman on April 5th, 1994. And whereas Christopher Bright, who in his 32 years of service demonstrated courage and selflessness in his service to the community while proving to be a valuable member of the Decatur Police Department, as reflected in his many roles, including bicycle patrol officer, crime scene investigator, evidence room clerk, joint drug task force investigator, standard field sobriety test officer, shift sergeant, lieutenant detective, and in his current role as the deputy chief of police. And whereas throughout his career, Chris remained committed to making communities safe, displaying a true commitment to his profession by maintaining a positive presence in the community, often volunteering with community events, assisting with crowd and traffic control, and in working closely with Adams County Community Corrections and performing home visits with program participants. And whereas Chris has cultivated a strong relationship with the citizens of Decatur, especially our community's youth, as a bicycle safety officer for many years, as well as organizing and managing the annual Cops for Kids program, coordinating and participating in department competitions with North Adams Community Schools staff and students, including basketball, dodgeball, Lego building, and volunteering as a lunch buddy, often one of the first to sign up to support such events. And whereas Chris fully appreciated the importance of police protection to our community and has been a champion for his department in serving as a field training officer, securing resources for the department, overseeing the department vehicle fleet, and maintenance of the Decatur Police Building, as well as being deemed the unofficial department uniform inspector. And whereas Chris has dedicated his time and resources to both local and regional law enforcement through his long-standing membership with FOP Lodge number 127, where he served as president, vice president, and chaplain. And whereas Christopher Bright has announced his retirement effective June 18th, 2026, ending a career of more than 32 years of unselfish service to the citizens of Decatur. And whereas the Decatur Common Council wishes to acknowledge Chris's service to the community and wishes to express its gratitude for his contributions to the city as he enters into a well-deserved and earned retirement. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, as follows. Resolved. The Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana finds that during his years of public service, Christopher Bright has been an exemplary public servant and has served the City of Decatur with distinction as he rose through the ranks from patrolman to deputy chief of the Decatur Police Department. Resolved. The Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana finds that Christopher Bright worked diligently and effectively to protect the safety of his officers and all citizens of the City of Decatur. Resolved. The Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana finds that the citizens of Decatur are indebted to Christopher Bright for his many years of dedicated service as a law enforcement officer, for his willingness to put his life at risk to protect others, and for his desire to maintain respect for citizens, his officers, and the department itself. Resolved. The members of the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana hereby express their deepest gratitude to Christopher Bright for his service in his capacity as a long-standing member of the Decatur Police Department and in his role as Deputy Chief of Police. Resolved. The members of the Common Council of the City of Decatur wish Christopher Bright the very best in his retirement. Resolved, the Common Council of the City of Decatur, the Common Council of the City of Decatur, Indiana, hereby spreads this resolution among the records of Common Council and directs that a copy be delivered to Christopher Bright in appreciation and recognition of his outstanding public service and his efforts over the years to keep Decatur a safe place for all.
I make a motion to adopt resolution 2026-6.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose.
Again, thank you, Chris.
Yes, thank you.
Now we have another ordinance.
Let's get these, if we can take a second and get it signed, and then I'll
Okay.
get a copy
Okay, hold up just a minute.
back to him. That's what we just did.
Okay. We're through everything else? No. Okay.
I can go ahead and do that for Jamie.
Oh, okay.
So Jamie Gephardt couldn't be here, and she asked me to share an event, the Homestead Firework Display, which will be on Saturday, June 27th. Setup time starts at noon. The event time is from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Closing the Center Drive in Homestead Park from noon to 11 p.m. And this is with Nate Stimson, just to make council aware.
Okay. No action.
No approval.
Matt needs to sign it. You can sign mine, and then I'll take it out to him so that they can keep going.
Okay. Shoot, you sign one?
No, but I'm gonna just run this out to him.
Okay.
Did you sign it?
He did. Got three of them, man. Just want to give one to him.
One more? Come on, more time.
I can, it doesn't really need to be.
Okay. Go through everything here.
Okay, I do have the one issue with regard to the need to schedule a potential executive session.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. One matter to come before council is, an individual has requested the city to entertain potentially selling a portion of land and would like an opportunity, to address council on that. And that is a permissible, matter for discussion in an executive session. No decisions can be made during that time, and if it's determined that council wants to move forward with that, that decision would come forward and be discussed in a public meeting, and that decision would be made at that time. But the individual has requested that we schedule an executive session to be held jointly with the Board of Works, to discuss the possibilities of that. And so, we would like to maybe get some dates and some times to be able to get that scheduled. And then, we just need 48 hours notice that executive session would be, like notice of the hearing would be posted like it is for any other meeting, but it needs to be at least 48 hours in advance. So, are there dates and times that may work for everyone?
Like evening? Evening?
If that works best.
48 hours.
I don't know if I was potentially looking at June 29th or 30th. I don't know how that works for anyone else's schedule to get that scheduled.
Works for me.
I'm out of town.
You're out of town.
I could do the week before. I could do next
And I'm
week.
at
Out of town.
I'm at conferences a good portion of the week.
Can we email each other?
We can figure out a date, but just know that an executive session is gonna be scheduled,
Good.
so.
All right.
Okay.
I could do tomorrow night.
No, we can't
Oh, it's
tomorrow
not
night. We
48
don't have enough
hours.
notice on that one, but it'll likely be, it'll definitely be scheduled before the 4th of July holiday and before our next meeting,
Tuesday, 23rd?
so.
I'm available all of next week.
Okay,
So,
okay. We'll get that on the books. So,
Okay.
that's it. That's
Okay.
what I got.
At this time, we're gonna move into a public comment portion of the meeting. Ann's gonna point out a few ground rules and a
Well,
positioning of the city.
actually, we're gonna go through department head.
We're gonna go through department heads first? Okay. All right. I see Chief Gerber. Anything to bring before us?
Well, I don't think so. I'm still playing catch up for my trip to Europe last week.
Yeah. Next, we have Kara Gerber, our park superintendent.
Yes, last week we had our first event at our venue event at Rev, and we did great. We had about $8,600 in sales. The cookie, the lady brought cookies, she sold out. MLC ice cream sold out. So it had said that for the average sales and curbside cravings, it was their second event ever for their food truck, and they said it was very soft opening. So we got a lot of good feedback last weekend on that. With our camps, painting and pickleball
Thank you. Fire Chief Sheets.
Today we finished up day 2 of our required training for the new aerial. Also, Friday again is one of our schools out tours from 8 to 11:30. So I'd like to welcome everybody to come and look at all the equipment.
Thank you. Building Department, Kurt Whitty.
Good.
Aaron Hirely, our Utilities Director. Seth Haynes, Water Department. Matt Schultz, Public Works. Tracy Manley. Good. All right.
Did you get Kurt?
Yes, he's good. Got all department heads.
Okay.
Do we have like a sign-in paper?
Yeah. Is the sign-in paper back that direction? All right. All right.
I'd like Ann to go over a couple items in regards to
Okay.
what I think most are here to speak about tonight.
Yes.
Let's go.
And I may be somewhat presumptuous in this, but based on social media, it has been brought to council's attention that there was a kind of a call out for as many people to come to city council tonight to address city council regarding the upcoming Pride Festival that's scheduled on Madison Street Plaza at the end of June. I'm simply going to address the process by which someone goes through to be able to rent or secure the plaza. So the city is a political subdivision. They own public space. We choose to offer that public space for rental or for use by the public. There's a process. There's an application. There are guidelines. Those are all posted. They're widely available on our website. If an organization or a group provides the city, our community coordinator, with a completed application and meets the criteria set forth in the application and the date for which the applicant is requesting the use of the plaza, then they have a right to use it. What event is being planned there is being done so by a private organization for a private event for which the city is not affiliated, is not a sponsor, is not involved in, and that organization, through the application process, just like any other organization, agrees to abide by the guidelines set forth in the application, the city ordinances, state and federal law, and it's up to them to conduct themselves in a manner that conforms with those guidelines. And that is the same expectation that any person, any group who rents the Madison Street Plaza, that's the same standard that is applied uniformly to any group that is there. And the city is limited in how or who they rent to. And we respect anybody's right to be able to use that plaza and appreciate and expect them to conduct themselves in a manner that is respectable. So if you want to speak in regard to the upcoming event based on a call to be here from social media, you are more than welcome. This is a public comment section, and if you plan to, if anyone has not had an opportunity to sign in and would like to do so, please come forward and do that. Or there's a secondary sheet that can be passed around if somebody wants to do that. Thank you. If you want to just kind of pass that back around. But in terms of the public comment section, when you hear your name called, please come forward and have a seat at the table. You'll have an opportunity to introduce yourself and then a 2-minute period of time to address council. And then again, it's a public comment. And if there are questions and answers or questions that you'd like to have addressed, we would encourage you to reach out to your council member or to contact anyone up here, contact the city, contact City Hall, contact me. But this portion is directed for public comment and not necessarily discussion or question answer period. So the first name on the list is Monica Miller. So if you'd like to come forward.
That wasn't my plan, Chris. Throw it away.
Thank you. I wanted to say that from a neurological and psychological viewpoint, there are reasons why we do have laws that where minors' activities are restricted. The common denominator to all these restrictions is a scientific understanding of the developing human brain. Now, I have a list of experts that break down the cognitive growth stages from age 2 to adulthood. Several of these medical experts point to these childhood growth stages to explain why modern gender programs are not a good fit for kids. Now, among them, the American Academy of Pediatrics warns against exposing young children to complex adult themes because their brains process information literally and visually. The American Psychological Association recognizes that the brain's management system and the ability to process layered social parity do not mature until late adolescence. The National Association for the Education of Young Children uses these cognitive stages to define developmentally appropriate practices, the industry standard for protecting children from overwhelming concepts. The WHO and UNICEF emphasize that children require protected, stable environments to build cognitive baselines before encountering adult complexities. Due to all these scientific facts, our community has a duty and obligation to insist that drag shows should be relegated to private, adult-only venues. Doctors take an oath to first do no harm, and I trust that our standards are no less for our children. Thank you. And I'd like to give you a list of all my research and my footnotes and all my references if I can.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right. And I apologize if I mispronounce someone's name. David Zabalski. Okay.
If you would too, as you come up, please state your name and where you live, just because I would like to know. And that could be Decatur, rural Decatur, wherever. I know Monica's rural Decatur, so thank you. David, you're up.
David Zabalski. I live with my lovely wife and 2 young kids. I have a 8-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter. She's almost 15, pretty close. But I live in Decatur here. And first of all, I just want to say I am saved by God's wonderful grace. And I choose to show love to grace to everyone that do not see eye on my biblical views. And I think we live in a country that died for our freedoms, and I agree that people should have the right to express things that I don't agree with, and that's the country we live in. So I say I totally agree with that. But I do want to say we have a young generation of kids, and I totally echo everything that lady came up before me did say, and I totally agree with her. They're not fully developed. Their minds are not, and to allow children in that kind of environment is damaging. They will be damaged for the rest of their life. And it should not be a family event. It is not. They can have the event. We live in a free country. I totally agree with that. They should follow the process. I totally agree with that. But that's taking your children to a strip club is what it is. And that should never, never be allowed with young children and their minds. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Molly Cochran.
am Molly Cochran. I live here in Decatur. I just wanted to say that I'm here tonight to support the LGBTQ plus community of Decatur. I know there are people here who believe that a Pride event should not happen, and I'm not going to change their minds, but I feel I need to say something as an ally. I've always been curious as to why some people feel they need to make a marginalized community feel as if they shouldn't exist. Is it to curry more favor with God? Do you feel like you will be loved by him more if you make people feel they are less than? I was always under the impression that God is good and loves everyone. For example, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Or Psalm 145:9. The Lord is good to all, and his mercy is over all that he has made. It is evidenced in this room that being LGBTQ+ is not a choice. No one should believe that anyone would choose to be treated the way people of the LGBTQ+ community are treated. If you can take away anything from what I have said, I hope it's that LGBTQ+ people are not going to stop existing, so you can learn to live in the world with them or continue to have hatred in your hearts for people who don't deserve it. Thank you.
Christine Bright.
Good evening, Christine Bright. I'm from Decatur, and I'm the Vice President of Decatur Pride. There is a lot of misinformation and misleading, frankly, rhetoric about us and our event going around town, especially online, and some I've heard in this room tonight already. During my time today, I couldn't possibly address all the bits of misinformation that we see and hear that seem to surround our event. I will instead say, we publicize our contact information, release accurate information about us and our community on our Facebook page, and we always make ourselves available for discussions. We strongly urge for folks who read something about Decatur Pride online, especially inflammatory information, to take a moment before jumping to conclusions. You can always just talk to us. We're here for accurate information about the event and our group. We are available through the official channels I mentioned above, also for council as well, if you have any questions. And for the public at large, we're here for discussions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nikki Osland.
Good evening. Round two. Hopefully we won't have to do this every year, but here we are. My name is Nikki. I live in the city of Decatur, and I am the president of Decatur Pride. Today I'm here for two reasons. First, to be visible for my community, the LGBTQIA community of Adams County. For any of our queer friends behind me or watching this on YouTube later, please know that there is a place for you here. You are loved, you are seen, and you are accepted, despite what others say about you. Secondly, to the council and also to Mayor Rickard when he comes back, I'm here to answer any questions that you may have about our organization, about our festival, and about our drag show. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Becca is the first name.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's too long of a name to write all, so I scribbled it.
Okay.
I apologize, my fault.
That's okay.
If you would just state your name again,
Yeah.
please.
Becca Gunter Poling.
Okay.
I live in Venedocia, Ohio, but I'm from Decatur.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Becca Gunter Poling, and I'm speaking today on behalf of both myself and my husband Nathan Poling, who is unable to attend because he's caring for livestock on our property. I grew up in Decatur. My parents moved here shortly after I was born because Decatur was known as a great place to live and raise a family. Even after moving to Ohio following my marriage, I continued to return to Decatur because my family is here and this will always be part of my community. Last year, when the Pride Festival was held, my husband and I made the trip from Ohio to attend. We spent the day enjoying the festival, watching the drag performances, and eating local foods, and visiting with friends and family. We found the event to be welcoming, safe, and enjoyable. What stands out to me is the Pride Festival is only one day out of the entire year. Decatur hosts many different events and festivals, and people choose which ones they want to attend. If someone is not invested in a particular event, they are free not to participate. No one is required to attend, but I do not believe a small group of people should decide that others cannot enjoy an event simply because they personally disagree with it. The community already demonstrated support for this festival through attendance last year. People came and had a good time and supported local businesses. From our perspective, the event brought people into town and created a positive atmosphere. I also want to acknowledge that supporting the LGBTQ community is not always easy, even for those of us who are straight. After attending the festival last year, my husband and I faced criticism from members of his family because we chose to support the event. One family member called us after seeing photos from the festival online and strongly condemned our decision to attend. Despite that criticism, we remain open about our beliefs that all members of our community deserve respect and the opportunity to gather and celebrate safely. My husband and I plan to continue attending the Pride Festival every year. We choose to travel from Ohio to Decatur because we enjoy the event, we value the sense of community it creates, and we want to support our friends, family, and neighbors. I respectfully ask that the Pride Festival be allowed to continue. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Marcy Andrew.
Hi, my name is Marcy Andrew. I grew up here in Decatur, but I live in Fort Wayne now. So, my name is Marcy Andrew, and I am married to a drag performer. My wife has been performing drag for 10 years and has appeared at many Pride events, all ages shows, and benefit performances. I have attended these shows as an audience member, and not once have I witnessed any of the inappropriate behavior that is often described in social media posts claiming that drag shows are filled with inappropriate actions, confusing messages, or revealing costumes. The performers are fully covered, and song selections chosen carefully to ensure that it is family friendly, and they're going to hear better music at these performances than what they probably hear on the radio, to be honest. I'm not going to bring in religion or politics into this discussion, nor am I going to attack people who hold different beliefs. Instead, I want to share facts and provide an honest look at who these performers really are. I choose to do this with love, kindness, human decency, and acceptance because those values matter. I would like to share some of the performers that are appearing in Decatur and who they truly are and what they are about. These performers, along with many other performers in the drag community, dedicate their time to drag brunches and benefits that are held throughout the year. A portion of the ticket sales are donated, and all tips earned by the performers go directly to designated charity for the event. Some of the organizations that they have supported include Blessings in a Backpack. They provide children with food and supplies to help them get nourished over the weekend when schools are out. Also, they have donated their time to Aaron's House for Grieving Children, which provides free grief support for children, teens, and families who have experienced the death of a loved one. The Center for Nonviolence, which provides education, advocacy to help end domestic violence and other forms of violence. The Positive Resource Connection, one of our performers that will be performing here at Decatur Pride, organized a food drive through this organization to help provide food for people who are experiencing homelessness, that need food, that need supplies. These drag performers are not who you guys are making them out to be. They help the community, and a lot of that's not spoken, and I know a lot of you guys probably have not heard about any of those.
Ms. Andrew, your 2 minutes is up.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sebastian Hathaway.
Sebastian Hathaway. I live here in Decatur. I am a Decatur resident since I have been 14 years old, and I currently serve on the Decatur Pride Board. I also serve on the Junior Achievement Board. So I'm here for 2 reasons, like Nikki had stated as well. I'm here for my community because I couldn't fathom people coming here and spewing hate and lies and things that really just don't exist because they don't take the time to research or talk to anybody. But I just wanted to point out a few facts. These can be found on the Trevor Project. If you don't know what that is, I really hope that you take a look at that, especially with being on city council. Your constituents are a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and it is really, really important that you educate yourself and not just through channels that are solely based on what you believe. 36% of young people have considered suicide in 2025 that were part of the LGBTQ plus community. 44% wanted mental health that they could not get, and 59% aged 13 to 17 face bullying in schools. Whether it's any of you or the people behind me, these are your children, these are your grandchildren that are gonna have these thoughts one day, and I hope you can provide them with a safe space. I have been open, especially on social media, that I want conversation, I want to build bridges, and find, I know we have differences, but we should still continue to love each other, especially when a lot of these people behind me tout the love of Jesus, yet continue to not show it through conversation. They just cut people like me off. So, again, we're not going to be silent. We're not going to go into hiding like we did years and years ago before I even was born. We're going to be loud. We're going to be proud of who we are, and we're going to continue to love each other. Thank you.
Hannah Mendez.
I'm Hannah Mendez. I live in Decatur. I'm here today to speak in support of drag as a legitimate and valuable art form. Drag is performance art. It combines theater, costume design, comedy, music, dance, and self-expression. Like any other form of performance, it can be graded for different audiences, including families. Kids regularly encountered exaggerated costumes and gender performance in movies, theater, cartoons, and Halloween celebration. Drag is part of that same tradition of creative expression. What often makes drag controversial is not the art itself, but who is performing it. When straight actors dress as another gender in comedy, theater, or film, it is generally accepted. When it involves the LGBTQ plus community, drag becomes dangerous. That double standard reveals that the discomfort is often with the community and not with the performance. We should judge drag by what it is, an art form, a form of free expression and a long-standing part of our cultural and theatrical traditions. Thank you for your time.
Christine Smith Stetler.
So in all honesty, I really thought I was just signing in to say that I was attending the meeting. But since I'm here and I have a voice, Christine Smith Stetler, registered nurse, citizen of Decatur for about 30 years now. In case you can't tell, I don't sound like y'all. I'm from Philadelphia. So being exposed to a lot more cultures, a lot more differences is part of my background. So what I'm here to do now is support people who are of different mindsets, different cultures, different backgrounds. And I want to add that I was on the same trip as Police Chief Gerber, and we're still dealing with 7 hours of trying to get back on this time. It was an awesome experience. We went to Greece and Italy, and we got to see all those different cultures. We got to see their absolute obsession with football, which is, by the way, soccer to us, but football to them. See, we can all learn to agree to disagree of what we call things. It's okay. I mentioned I'm a registered nurse as well, and I appreciate what our first speaker said, but I also think that you can really start to take things out of context in regards to what the WHO puts out there, and I 100% agree that children should be protected from violence and from subject matter that they're not ready for. And I'm going to add, and I'm sorry I'm a little off on my tangent here, but the EF tours, I want to go back to that because I also did the World War II Western expansion, where I got to stand on the beaches of Normandy, where 19-year-old people died so that we could have our freedoms. So that said, I don't think anybody has the right to tell any other human in this country and how we stand and the flag that we support what they can and cannot do. So if you believe, as David Zabolski, he thinks that this isn't good for his children, he has his God-given right to not take his children there. but I have my God-given right to take my children there. I appreciate your time.
Terry Worth.
My name is Terry Worth, and I'm a citizen of Decatur. And as a member of this community, I have a concern about the sexual displays that will be performed during this festival. I object to inviting the children to the Pride Festival where they can watch a drag show. My faith causes me to speak up because of the children. We're all sinners, everyone in this room, myself included, and there is no one here that cannot receive his forgiveness and live in heaven eternally. God has shown us undeserved kindness. We are only here because God spoke us into existence. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. And again, I'm going to read John 3:16 like someone else did. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. And also from Mark 9:42, if anyone should cause one of these little ones to lose their faith in me, it would be better for that person to have a large millstone tied around their neck and be thrown into the sea. This event should be moved inside and limited to adults, as it is not family friendly since it is R-rated. I am also disappointed as I have heard that the public library has become involved, which is totally unacceptable. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you.
Holly Hirely.
To sit or stand, I can't tell from back there. Hi, my name's Holly Hirely. I'm a resident of rural Decatur. And I had no intention to speak, but God had other intentions, so I'll just say a couple things. As a follower of Christ, I deny myself. And a part of that is putting myself in circumstances like this where I'm totally uncomfortable. And a part of that is not doing things that that sin would cause me to do. So my main concern here is not for me as an adult or anyone else in this room that is an adult, but for children who tend to be exploited by adults that maybe don't have their best interest in mind, but have selfish desires in mind. And I just am concerned if we allow the drag shows to go on our streets, that they will move into our libraries and into our elementaries. And I just hate to see that happen, so that's why I'm here.
Thank
I
you.
don't hate anyone. I love everyone here, and I haven't heard anyone say anything about hate except for accusing others of being hateful, but I haven't heard anything hateful, so I'm grateful that people have come just to share their heart.
Thank you.
Craig Hirely.
Hi, my name is Craig Hirely. I'm a rural Decatur. I agree with my wife. I don't mind the festival. You're adults, you can go, but with kids, that's my main concern. This is all about a sexual preference, not about an ethnic group or a certain group. Why do we allow this? We need to protect our kids, and like they said earlier, that she read about the mental health of them. That's my only point, is that this should be a private group they want to celebrate, but it should not be a family thing. It's not a family thing. It's a sexual preference. Kids do not need to know that yet. They're not developed yet to have that. That's all I have to say.
Chris Hakes.
Thank you for giving me a chance to speak. First of all, my name's Chris Hakes. I live in Adams County, have for most of my life. I wanted to clarify a couple things. How do people become homosexual? Do you catch it? Is it a disease? What's going on? Do you decide to become gay? According to many of you, you decided inside, I didn't decide to be straight. I didn't decide to be gay. I am who I am. And people who are gay are born being gay. And maybe you're afraid, guys, but why are you so afraid of this? I am stunned by the fear of my community on something that is, it's settled law, guys. The courts have acted, okay? Bostock versus Clayton County, it's illegal to say you can't do something because you're gay. The government, people can't get, if they do that, they're gonna get sued and lose. You ought to thank your city council. Thank you, city council, okay? Because you know what I'm talking about. This is strange that we're up here talking about. It is not illegal to be gay. The American Psychological Association declassified homosexuality in 1973 as a mental illness. It's not mental illness. In 2015, the Supreme Court said same-sex marriage is legal in this country, period, end of discussion. I think some of you didn't hear that one. 2020, Bostock versus Clayton, illegal to discriminate based on this. And you guys are coming here saying, oh, it's about Jesus and stuff. This is not about Jesus at all. Jesus didn't act this way. He didn't say any of this stuff. This is you guys putting what you have into what you're calling our faith, and you are doing a tremendous job of showing people what Christianity is about.
Mr.
And
Hakes.
I am saddened by it.
Mr. Hakes, your 2 minutes is up.
Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
time.
That does conclude the number of, or the individuals who have signed up to speak. And I very much appreciate all of you being here and the level of decorum and the respectful nature in which all of you have addressed the city council. And it's noted, it's very much appreciated, and thank you for being here. And I know it's been a long meeting, but we appreciate the consideration and the respectfulness from everyone. So thank you very much.
When it comes to this topic, council, have anything they wish to say?
I just am always amazed that there's so much controversy and not one person in the community called me or emailed me or sent a text. So I don't know how you're all getting your information, but nobody has contacted me. So if there's an issue, feel free. I'll give it to you.
So I was vocal last year about the festival. A lot of people were concerned about what it would be, what it wouldn't be. Then they had the festival. After the festival, I, not the mayor, as the city, but myself, asked for it to be an adults-only event. The main concern many people air to me is young children involved in such an event. And while it is legal, you've stated this out, it's very offensive to many in our community. And I just want to air that. So with that, I'd like to make a matter of record that the city permits this event, the city does not endorse the event, and we don't fund it.
Yeah, but wait a second. Are you, by doing this, coming out and saying we're really being against it as far as we can? Because it sounds that way. And one of the things that none of us are involved with we're not gay. We don't know what it feels like
Mr.
to never
Hicks,
be accepted.
this
to
is
have
not-
no affirmation.
This is not
Ever.
an opportunity
I didn't hear
to
anything
address
earlier,
the-
Dan. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
and
Since
to
he was-
clarify, the city does not permit the event. So I would like to clarify that the city is not involved in the event. The city makes a rental space available, and they make it available in a non-discriminatory way and apply the same standards to any person, organization, or group that would want to utilize that space. And it is not based on the content or the message, the color, the race, the sexual orientation, whether it's an adult or a family event. The same exact standard is applied for use of that plaza, no matter who applies for it. So, I want to clarify that.
Okay. So then I would amend that matter. I'd still like to make a matter of record. We'll admit that the city permits the event because we don't permit any events. We allow the space to have it. But the city is not funding or endorsing this event. Period. Nor did we with German Fest or the next fest or a private wedding that's coming up on the plaza. Those are private events. And the city's not funding them. We treat them all the same. It's not, the city must permit something like this versus the city supporting something like this. The city's neutral. We can have our own opinions, and some of us more than others hear more of your opinions or not. But if you really want to change state law, your state legislature can do that. Matt Lehman, Travis Holdman currently, Senator-elect Blake Fichter can set a law at the State House that bans public displays of sexuality, if that's what this is. They can debate that in Indianapolis. That's really who you need to speak to if you are against something like this. And it has come up in certain states.
This is, I don't think it's the campaign.
It truly is, though. If you, either side of the aisle, if you have an opinion on public drag shows for young children, voice your opinion to them. That's where it matters. But it does matter that you come, that the media covers an event such as this, because there are people that have strong opinions about this. Obviously, we heard from you.
Sir, the board is here if you guys would like to ask us any questions. We're open. If you have questions for us, we're here.
Sure.
We're glad to answer them now or later. So if we're all here now to answer if you'd like us to answer anything.
To me, Nikki, it's pretty simple. I asked you to cancel a drag show for children. You don't have to, and you're not going to.
Right, because it's family friendly. No one is stripping. No one's taking clothes off. Drag performers have more clothes on than the dance recitals that you see, the show choir performances that you see, and the cheerleaders on your football screens, the football shows that you watch on TV. There's no.
And you have a drag performer here.
You do have a drag performer here.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, please.
I'll make a motion to pay the claims.
I second.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.